Spit to the beat. Podcast. It's all about inside the music industry.
Nobody do it better. And welcome to Spit to the Beat podcast. I'm your host, Stacey, aka Be Unstoppable Prayer. We are live on YouTube at Spit, the number 2 DABEAT. Make sure you go there, subscribe, like, and hit that notification. We will be adding clips to my Facebook channel, Stacey Be Unstoppable Prayer, and Stacey Spit to the Beat. Look, we are joined live in the studio right now. Tune in, lock in on Spit to the Beat on YouTube, so you can see this broadcast live right now as we speak. I got a very special guest joining me all the way from Washington, D.C. Super excited. I ran over his information online, and I was impressed with him, what he's doing, and I had to reach out to him and get him on the show. So he's joining me today all the way, again, like from Washington, D.C. I'm going to bring him on and let him introduce himself. My man. Hey.
Peace. This is Desmond Parson. Thank you so much for having me on Spit to the Beat. It's certainly an honor and privilege for you to reach out. And again, thank you, brother, for all that you do.
Appreciate it. Tell a little bit about yourself, man. You know, I'm getting to know you as well as my audience get to know you.
Well, I'm a lover of music, as you can see behind me. I call these my textbooks, and so these are my grandmother's albums, my aunt's albums that I just kind of permanently borrowed, if you will. And I was inspired. I'm a lover of music. And at an early age, I didn't want to just listen to music. I wanted to do what they were doing. I wanted to make music. And so I've been inspired by, of course, as you can see, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire, Michael Jackson. And I just love creating. And so, this journey continues from using the coffee table, just pretending to play the piano, to actually, creating songs from it. And so I certainly, thank God for the opportunity and the blessing and the gift of music.
Such deep determination. You're talking about using a coffee table to play, to start your own. Say one couldn't even afford probably to get a piano or anything like that. That's amazing, man. Let's talk a little bit about your journey into the music industry as development from a child and the many instruments that you play besides being a vocalist. So,
I pretended. I mean, I had toy keyboards and pianos and things like that, but I think I saw Stevie Wonder on a Grammy show, and I just imitated him. So it's funny. It was 3 people I liked: Superman, if you remember, Popeye the Sailor, and then Stevie Wonder. So I was around 1980. If you caught me, I was one of 3 of them. And I'm just acting out and being them, and that it stuck with me. And so, the key, about 10 years old is when I actually started to play and pick out melodies. And I had certain people in my family. I had an uncle that showed me a couple of melodies. And it's kind of like how, God set it up where this person's going to bring you here and show you this much. He'll show you melodies. The next guy's going to show you how to play chords.
Yeah.
This next guy's also going to teach you how to vocalize and do things like that. And so it was like a stair step kind of a situation throughout my life. I did study formerly at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. I was a music minor, so there was rudimentary steps I took along the way, but all while inspired from that same childhood love. So keyboards, percussions, as you mentioned, I do play percussions as well, a little bit of guitar, but the keyboard is my main instrument.
Amazing. Look, I know we sent you some questions and everything about before the interview, but one thing just triggered just now what you're saying, and I wanted to ask you, from your professional life to your personal life in the music, how has that affect you as being, just doing your everyday thing each and every day, and then your personal life involved in your music? How passionate is it as that part?
Very. I look at music as the soundtrack of my life. So at any point, positive or negative, the music has served as kind of that backdrop of whatever I'm going through. From the time that I've had my first crush to obviously, getting married and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the backdrop. It's when we go to church, it's there to revive your spirit. Depends on I'm a mood person. I like to cook and listen to music. I'm on the grill and listen to music, and so it's always.
Amazing. Now let's jump back into the professional. You said earlier, number of people that inspired you, impact you. We'll say Michael Jackson, Jill Scott, Stevie Wonder. Who was the most Earth, Wind, and Fire? Who was the most impactful person or group on you for your music?
Without question, it was Stevie Wonder. From the writing, I'm driving home from work today, still listening to Stevie Wonder. I mean, I'm a Stevie Wonderologist. He's my Michael Jordan. He's my this generation's LeBron, if you will. From the album art, I think when I was younger, before I knew who Stevie Wonder was, it was the cover art. If you remember back in the day, you had the albums, which you see behind me, and going to the record store and opening the gatefold to see who did what, who played on this. And I was just blown away by the art itself. And, without question, I would say Stevie Wonder, from his writing ability, what he wrote about. But he does, just like Earth, Wind, and Fire, Michael Jackson, they do two things that I pray that I do to my audience, which is entertain and inspire.
That's one thing I noticed when I was looking at your the social media platforms, and I ain't never seen. Well, you're the first artist, singer, a person I had on my show, on my podcast. I see an artistic viewpoint from you, with your coloring of reciprocity, and it's beautiful. Your photos and everything like that. It's artistic self by yourself. And I see now how you gravitate towards Stevie Wonder, being that artistic come out of you. What is that all about, man?
That was the first thing that drew me to all of the artists that you see behind me, was the cover art. My aunt or my grandmother, they had parties and they would have all these albums out. And I'm like, why are they standing like this? Why are they posing like this? I'm young. I don't even know what the lyrics are about. And so I thought about it. Fast forward to answering your question.
Mm-hmm.
If you never heard of Desmond Parson, if you never heard my music, I'm going to try to catch your eye first.
Yes, you did.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to catch your eye first. So I had some Funkadelic is one of my favorite bands too, and their cover art is way out there. So I said, you know what? If I can't get you by listening first, you definitely gonna remember the cover art that you saw. I ain't gonna do nothing crazy, but I wanted to catch your eye. If I can catch your eye and see, what is this about?
It kind of remind me back in the day when Prince used to do his album covers. You stared at the cover so long, you hadn't even got to the music. So
exactly,
and that's the way I look at yours, man. Like it just pops out at you. You just intrigued with the artists of the cover and everything, and even before you listen to the music, so it draws you in. That's a great point that you made, man, about doing that. That's awesome. Let's talk about a little bit before we take a break. I want to talk a little bit about your song process. and your process of writing, how do you come about? What puts you in the mood to for songwriting and composing your music?
A lot of it is it's two different avenues. So the first avenue is me. A lot of times I make music and I don't know what I want to write about. So it's just a beat, it's a loop. A lot of times I'm at the keyboard and I'm just come up with a pattern. And then, just kind of ask myself what mood does it put me in. Um, in the case of say reciprocity, the track was made and I wanted to just find a word or something, a syllable or something that would fit, a phrase that would fit in that loop that I had. And
Yeah.
so that's how reciprocity came about. Now, conversely, there are some times where I am feeling a certain type of way. Um, I could be overcome with emotion about, new love or um, thinking about, something sad, and that can spark what I actually say, what I write about. So there's a lot of different ways that I come to compose music, but more often than not, it's about the feeling, how I'm feeling, because that can, you know, sometimes it'll just the lyrics will write themselves based on how I feel. So
Awesome.
definitely two different streets.
Okay, cool. Look, we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit more about your music and what you got going on. Okay.
All righty.
You're listening to Spit to the Beat podcast with your host, the one, the only Stacy B. Unstoppable Per Year.
Hey, this is Stacy, aka Beat Unstoppable Per Year with Spit to the Beat podcast. Would you like to be my guest if you're a singer, songwriter, musician, producer, or promoter? Give me a call at 901-341-6777 or email me at myguest@spittothebeat.com. And we're back to Spit to the Beat podcast. I'm your host, Stacey B. Unstoppable Per Year, and joining me live from all the way from Washington, D.C., Desmond Parson. How you doing, man? Welcome
I'm
back.
doing well, bro. Thank you so much.
Good, good, good. Let's talk a little bit about your music and what you've been working on. You had some projects back in 2022. It's called November. I believe that's the name and title of it. Can you tell me what it was again?
Yes. So Like in November was my second album
Yeah.
released in November of 2022. Like in November is what I basically what it is. I wanted to create music that sounded uh, like that time of the year. There's music where you think of certain songs, you want to be outside. You may be at a
Mhm.
cookout. You put on some Frankie Beverly and you at a cookout, or you're outside. I wanted
Hold
that.
up now. You saying November? That's late fall, winter. You
Yeah.
cooking out? You cooking out up in DC?
Oh, you get all four seasons up here. And
I hear
so
you, bro.
I remember, yes, sir. I remember around my 10th grade year, it was a lot that I was just feeling. It wasn't, not negative, anything like that, but it was just
Mm.
the feel of that fall. I love I think spring and fall are my favorite times of year, but fall, it can be warm, it can be cool. And I wanted music that reflected that time of the year, as opposed to, there's always, music for the summer, there's music for the spring. Of course, you have your holiday music for the Christmas season in the winter. But I wanted something in that November feel or vibe for me. And so that's where those songs were inspired by.
Okay, cool, awesome. Let's dive into your song. This is your latest song, Reciprocity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, talk a little bit about that before we play it.
Yes. So reciprocity is basically on face value what it is. I mean, Teddy Pendergrass spoke about it, and if loving somebody, it feels so good loving somebody
Mm.
when somebody loves you back. Basically,
Yes.
reciprocity is that same energy that you bring me. Not just a relational type of reciprocity. It could be your boy. It could be your brother. It could be, whomever. It could be a coworker. I want that same energy, that same, the excitement that I bring to you, or the love or affection or whatever. I want that in return. And I think that's something that most people would would agree with is that, particularly in a, like a love relationship, you want that same energy. I want that same love and affection. Um, Lauryn Hill spoke about it in X Factor. Where's
Yes.
the reciprocity? Where's that same energy that I'm giving you? I want that back towards me. And so that's what reciprocity is about.
And definitely about that energy, putting out the positive energy versus, being around the negative energy. I understand exactly where you're going with that.
Absolutely.
Super, super. Okay, let us check it out. Reciprocity.
Through the storm, we always seem to give each other what the other needs. Now the sky is clearing, sunny, but it doesn't seem to be so clear to me. All we bested, every trial and tribulation, will I've given every piece of me. All I ask is for you to give me a little reciprocity. Oh, reciprocity is all I'm asking for. Reciprocity, reciprocity, reciprocity. That's all I'm asking for. Reciprocity, little reciprocity. It's the way you hold me, the caress of your touch, a word or two that keeps me hanging on. And I do the same for you, so you know the way I feel for you is so very strong. Love is very strong. But how can this be?
All right. Man, nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
I've been listening to it all day.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. I enjoyed it. Smooth R&B. How's your we go back a little bit. Your mixture of R&B and neo soul. How
Yeah.
did that come about? The mixture.
Yes, so I've been a lover of R&B music since I can recall, I guess as early as 1980. Dating myself, but I was about 4 years old. And what a time, coming out of the disco era, R&B back in the 70s and 80s. I mean, it's funny now, that sound that artists are sampling, but to be alive in that time, the Roger Troutmans and, that sound of the early 80s. And, I mentioned like Michael Jackson earlier, but like just that time period. So the R&B
Yeah.
part was there. Then I'm a 90s hip hop head. So I'm seeing, the Fugees come in. I'm seeing D'Angelo, come on the scene, and the Roots, and I love that sound, that Jay Dilla sound. And so I find myself inspired by both. And so I found, the instrument of choice that I, particularly on the keyboard, I use is the Fender Rhodes or the Rhodes piano, which you also hear in Reciprocity. I love the sound of that. That's the same, Stevie's main keyboard. That's, what the Roots use. That's what, that's kind of like the center point of a lot of your R&B music. And so I find myself being inspired by both and try to bring both of those styles into my music.
Yeah. That's amazing how you able to collaborate both of those. Let's talk about, you had a number one over in the UK, a song you collaborate with Anna. What's her last name? I don't know how you Survey.
Serve. So Anna Serve.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So how was that process with collaborating with her? Did y'all do it in the studio over the waters or what?
No, so Anna is actually in Atlanta. So
okay.
We followed each other on Instagram back in 2021. And I had, at that time, I had been doing music, but I was just, I would do cover songs. And so she followed me after one of my ads. And I found out she was an artist as well, and her and her crew down in Atlanta, the Surf Squad. We had talked about possibly doing a song together, and sometimes that kind of, let's do something together, and it just never comes to fruition. Well, in our case, it actually did. I had an idea back in July of 2022 about this beat that I was working on. I sent it to her, and we just kind of wrote it back and forth. We didn't meet until after the song was completed, so we recorded it. It's also a part of the Like in November album, and so shout out to the UK. It was number 1 in November of 2022 on the Urban Influencer chart. And so much love to the people of the UK. Actually, it's the lead off track to the Like in November album. So just honored. My first number 1. You couldn't tell me nothing, bro. I was
I know, right? You was on you above cloud 9. You was on 13, 14.
I was gone. Yes, sir.
Hey, congratulations on that, man. That you well deserved. I know you put in the work as well as Anna did too. So y'all made that happen.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Let's talk about your band, man. Soulfire.
Yes, so Soulfire Village is it's kind of my version of Sliding the Family Stone. So it's a mixture of almost like 6 degrees of separation. So family members, church members, neighbors. We all came together, and we do R&B. We actually do some of my songs. We do a lot of my music, but we also do your Stevies, your Jill Scotts, your Earth, Wind and Fires, all of that. And so, we've been touring the Washington, D.C. area as far as Eastern Shore. Been down to Hampton. Actually, this month in particular, we have quite a few shows. And so, I love this band. And we've been doing it for about 8 years now.
Amazing. I know collaboration is one of your biggest things with you. How do you feel about that, and what's the value of collaborating and building that partnership with other artists?
Oh, well, it's like it says in the Bible, iron sharpens iron. And so, I love to, collaborate, because there's some things that not so much as a competition as it is, learning something that I didn't know before, or coming together and not really realizing that, you gain new fans through, befriending,
building the relationships.
Exactly. Building relationships. And so I've done live performances with quite a few of the artists that I've collaborated with. And it's just a dual blessing, good friends. And then from that friendship comes new songs and, new markets. And so it's just a blessing. I think my first collaboration was with my brother Sing Steph, who's an amazing artist out of the DMV area as well, on the story from my first album, The New Me. And it wasn't anything I planned to do, but it was just organic, where it's let's work on the song. And it's been a blessing. All of the people, shout out all of the people, Shadeva, Devon, Daniil, Anna Serve, of course. Just some amazing artists in their own right. And I'm honored, that they would do the song with me. So such a blessing.
Yeah, definitely. I see your energy as far as you, like you said, collaboration and building those relationships can go a long way, especially in the music and entertainment industry.
Yes, sir.
Making those connections all over the United States. Hey, we're going to take another little short break. We're going to come back and we just want to talk a little bit more, wrap it up about how people can find you on social media platforms and all that good stuff. Okay?
Fantastic.
Cool.
Thank you for listening to Spit to the Beat podcast. Want to know how you can help? Be a sponsor by going to our website at www.spittothebeatpodcast.com and click the support tab. You can also join us each and every week live at YouTube at Spit to the Beat. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow. Thank you for your support.
Look, parents, I would like to let you know there is a boxing class after school program every Monday and Thursday by Bevo Boxing Fitness and Academy. Youth ages 8 through 17, boys and girls training at Bevo. They can learn punches, drill, foot movement, shadow boxing, and so much more. Make sure you register right now. Space is limited and it is free. Contact them at 901-610-1410. They are located inside the Hickory Ridge Mall, or visit their website at www.bevoboysfitnessacademy.com. You'll be glad that you did. Thank you. All right, we are back to Spit to the Beat podcast with my very special guest all the way from Washington, D.C., Desmond Parson. Look, man, I really enjoyed the conversation. Look, last but not least, a question. What would you tell up-and-coming artists that are trying to get themselves out there, noticed, and to avoid the pitfalls?
I would definitely say, number one, be yourself. Trends are going to come and go. And as much as it is that you're going to try to make music for other people, make it for yourself. Make music for yourself that you enjoy making. Because if you chase the trends, then you, just like trying to chase the money, you're going to burn yourself out. But if you're doing it for the love of it, then all of the byproducts are going to come. That, you know, your moment in the spotlight, prayerfully some financial blessings as well, but do it for the love. The more authentic you are, that's key. I had to learn that, and so I'm still working on that and just trying to just make music that, after it's all said and done, I love to listen to. We make music, or music now that's been made is hot today, but it's been some good music that it's, listen to, Love and Happiness, or Before I Let Go, the music that was made 30, 40 years ago, still good today. So I would say work on being authentic and making music that will stand the test of time.
Cool. One last thing. How can the people find you on social media or all the platforms that you're screaming your music and information about you?
Yes. So my music is found on all platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon. But you can find me on Instagram at IamDesmond_Parson. Find me on Facebook at Desmond Parson. I'm on YouTube as well. I'm on TikTok as well. Desmond Parson on TikTok. www.desmondparson.com. I'm everywhere. Twitter at Des Parson. And brother, I want to just say again, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of the conversation today. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. And I was looking forward to, like I said, beautiful artwork, cover and everything. I was just so impressed with your work. And like I said, I was jamming your music all day.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right, hold tight. We're going to wrap it up, okay?
All right.
Thank you for watching Spit to the Beat podcast. Join us again for another live episode next week on YouTube at Spit to the Beat.